There you
Hey
go.
guys, we are live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I have a brand new guest for you guys. I have JT is here. JT's Funky Finds. How are you doing today?
Good morning for me. Good afternoon for you. Hope everyone's doing well.
So, guys, the internet is crazy. So I'm in Florida, and JT, you're all the way in Australia. So go ahead,
Yep,
tell
I'm on the
everybody.
west side, so it's
I
nice
know
and
it.
5 a.m. over
I,
here.
I know it's like we have to travel through time. So it's like here it's Sunday, where you're at it's Monday morning, right?
Yep, I'm already
Okay,
in the future.
you're in the future. I know you traveled in the future. So tell everybody real quick. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them a little bit about what it is that you do.
Well, pretty much. Firstly, I'm a mum of a 2-year-old. My partner's a shift worker, but I'm mostly known as somebody who first started buying Funko Pops and sharing that on my channel. And then I'd probably be better than known as I purchased a 20,000 plus media haul, which included DVDs, VHSs, CDs, tapes, books, a lot. Uh, so I was pretty much better known for doing that. And then
Yeah.
I've just been documenting the journey on on my YouTube channel of how that process came about, and then how I've bought collections since, and been growing the business from pretty much a $1,000 outlay to what it's become today.
Yeah, and so if if you haven't, I've been wanting to catch up with you for a long time because I sell a lot of media items like you do: CDs,
Yep.
DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS tapes that people think have no value. You can actually post them on eBay and sell them and sell them for a pretty good profit. So
Oh
tell
yeah.
everybody first of all, I wanted to talk about how you scored that deal where you scored like 20,000 items, these media items, and you said you paid
Yeah.
like $1,000. So if you guys do the math in your head, that breaks down to like 5 cents a unit. So I mean, when you're buying
Yeah.
an item for 5 cents and you're turning around and probably selling them for 10, 15, 20, $30, there's
Yeah.
pretty good profit margins there. So tell everybody a little bit about this deal that you had. And then I want to talk about you being on the news recently. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, so it came across, it was on a Facebook marketplace ad. So I saw this ad for, it was like 60 DVDs for $5. And I messaged the lady and I said, "You've got a lot there. How much if I took it all?" And we were just talking about DVDs to start with. So I was just there to pick up all the DVDs. And then we noticed that she had 3 bedrooms, a hallway, and a backyard full of VHS tapes as well, and CDs and cassette tapes and that. And I said, "How much if I take everything?" And the lady was a widow, so she lost her husband about 2 months prior, and she was just needing to get her house back because it kind of was like a hoarder's house in the end. And me and my partner, my business partner, just said, "Hey, let's offer you, $1,000 for everything," because to her it wasn't about the money. To her it was about getting it out of the house. And the lady came back and said, "Oh, let's make it $1,200," and the deal was done. So we
Yeah.
paid that. Then we spent about 3 weeks shipping it all from, because we could only spend like a day a week or 2 days a week there. We picked it all up. We shipped it back to the warehouse, and yes, our profit margins are very, very good. Everything that we have was all in profit. We've bought more collections and all that just off the profit we've made. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's been
if you guys
a
want to go
whirlwind.
see, I have a link down below if you want to go follow JT, and she'll show you her huge warehouse where she scored 20,000 items. And we were just talking backstage, and I was just asking you, how business has been going for you because you said you got a pretty good chunk of that listed. And you
Yeah,
said that so far in your reselling business, you went from 0 to 7 months later. Now you said you probably are doing about 100,000 a year
yeah,
in
yeah.
growth sales.
So it's just been crazy. I just dropped a new video this morning, and it was just pretty much telling everybody how well we've done in just the 7 months that we started. Like, we only started in September, so we started from that $1,000. Well, I keep saying a $2,000 outlay because that's kind of what it was to start the ball rolling. So we started with $2,000, and we literally just built the business up to where it is now. And it's, by the end of this month, it will most likely be a 6-figure business with the way we're tracking at the moment. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely
Yeah.
nothing I expected this year.
So if you guys are confused, she's saying that they spent like $1,000 on the inventory, and then they had to pay to have it transported to your warehouse. So you have a big warehouse. How big is your warehouse that you have that you're working out of right now?
I'm not pretty good with measurements, to be honest, but it's massive. It's actually another business first. It's my business partner's business, and then he had this back space, like another back end of the warehouse that he just wasn't using, and he's like, "We can turn this into a proper eBay setup. Like we can fill it out, fit it out, and everything, and we can make it a proper warehouse just for you." Because I wasn't doing like I've got another business that I've been doing, and then when my little one was getting old enough that she could go to daycare, I was like, well, what am I going to do? I've got all this free time on my hands now. And that's when I started to learn a bit about eBay myself in May. And then
Yeah.
we've always thought we'd do a deal together. We just didn't know it would be this crazy of a deal. And now we're pretty much, yeah, fitting out the whole back of his warehouse, which I'm not, yeah, I can't even tell you the measurements, but it's a very big
Well,
warehouse.
that's good. So while the kids are in daycare during the day, you can crank out, get your listings done, pull your
Yep,
items, get the stuff shipped out. And hey,
yep,
for a big props to you, big bravo, because you started out basically from square one with nothing, and 7 months later, you've grown your business where you're doing, let's say, 100 grand a year potentially business.
yep,
Out of basically out of this warehouse. Just
yeah,
by doing a little bit of hustle and a little bit of elbow grease and going out and hunting and finding these deals. So we're
yep.
live. I want to say hello to a few people here in the chat. Urban Foster is here. I don't know if you know Urban Foster, but they live in
Hey,
Australia. So
yep.
thank you for getting up this early to hang out with us today. The disgruntled octopus is here. Says better be good. I rolled out of the ocean for this. Thanks for
He's a
hanging
good
out with
mate.
us today. And Juan Pug is here. Says hello, Jeff and Gus. If you guys have questions for our guests, you can drop it in the chat. So I got some questions for you. I want to kind of know what got you motivated to get you started into reselling? Did you have a friend or a family member, or were you watching
I've
YouTube videos? What got you motivated to get started into reselling?
I've always been a reseller by heart from, the age of 8, a young age. I was always one that wanted to go to the swap meets and sell, my Pokemon cards or my footy cards, and I would be making 20 cents a card when my parents would let me take them down there. So I always had that reselling mindset. I was a real estate agent for a very good chunk of time. So that I was always in the sales industry, always selling,
Really? That's
always,
interesting.
yeah, always selling stock, always selling things. When I was a kid, I'd work in sports stores and all that. So I
Yeah,
was always in the sales industry. And
yeah.
then I guess when you become a mum and you've got all this free time on your hands, you're selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace to get rid of and move on. And then I think I stumbled across like a couple of YouTube channels one day, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. I didn't realize you could make money from, going outsourcing to resell back onto eBay, because I always saw eBay as it took your money type thing. I wanted $20, but they were only going to give me 15 for it type. So I was just like, nah, this is crap. I'm never going to do this. I'll just sell on
Yeah.
Facebook. And then as I watched more videos, it just got the wheels turning, going, hang on, this could actually be something. I'm not doing anything. I've got all this free time on my hands. So yeah, let's give it a crack. And then I did that in May. And then I did that on my own from May to September. And then September, I pretty much stopped my own eBay store and kind of let that go by the wayside and just started this business now with my good buddy Brent.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was kind of the same way before I started on eBay. Like I had bought stuff on eBay in the past, but it like never like occurred to me like, oh, hey, I could have my own eBay store and sell stuff
Yeah,
on eBay. It's like a light switch goes off in your brain because you're like you bought stuff in the past, but then you never think like, well, where's all this stuff coming from?
yeah,
And then you start watching some YouTube videos and you see other resellers making a kill, and you're like, well, I can do that. I have all this free
yep,
time. We have all this space. You might as well go and get started. So, hey,
exactly.
talk to me real quick about you being on the news, because I saw part of your replay. Even though I'm in Florida, I keep track of you guys on the other side of the world. So, you
Yeah,
were on the news recently in Australia. Tell me a little bit about you being on the news and how that went. Was that kind of a shocker for you?
yeah. So that was awesome. That was such a great experience. So it all kind of stemmed from back in early December. We did Brent's got a few contacts, and he went out to dinner once, and he went out to dinner with a friend of his that works for a channel over here called ABC, and they had
Yeah.
had a dinner, and he was telling him about this massive collection we just purchased, and he's like, "Mate, that actually sounds pretty cool. Can I share that with my colleagues, and it might actually get you a spot on the radio?" So it kind of started from that. We did a radio segment, then it turned into a TV segment for that channel, then another 3 radio segments. Then it went to up, like over here, Channel 9 is, and Channel 7 is our biggest media platforms. So the Channel 9 TV station said, "Hey, we want to come in and have an interview with you." So we had a live feed going through our ears, and that was so much fun. It was just really, really cool to be part of and be on that back end of it all. But yeah, it just pretty much stemmed off us, Brent, having a conversation with someone out at dinner who worked in media, and it's just gone from there. So we never reached out to anybody. We just, he had a passing
You're
conversation
just
with
doing your
someone.
thing, and someone
Yeah,
found out about your resale business, and then one thing led
yep,
to another, and you're on the news. That's crazy.
yep. It was good fun.
So, I know today you just dropped a brand new video on YouTube, and I watched like the first half of it before we went live. And I
Yep.
know that you're like a goal-oriented type of person. So, tell people a little bit about what are some of the goals that you have for your resale business, and let's talk a little bit about that. Because if you're not, when you're kind of self-employed, you got to be a self-motivated person. I saw your
Yep.
like little accountability board, and I think you said
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like the month of February or something, you were trying to get like 3,000 items listed or something on your board. It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
100 items a day. So let's talk a little
Yep.
bit about your accountability board and some of your goals that you have, and how do you kind of stay motivated in your resale business?
Yeah, so I kind of don't document it a lot. I guess there's some things it's cool to keep, under wraps in terms of like, I guess how much money we make for every sale and all that kind of stuff. But for goals, it was always, I wanted to get past the 5,000 active listings on the store, which we ticked over pretty comfortably. And because you can see how much stock we have, it was just about how much stock can we get up every day. So yeah, our goal is anywhere between 80 to 100 listings a day at this stage. I had high, like because we're getting a little bit of help, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I can make it 150 a day, but that was just getting too much. That was just too hectic. And I was like, no, let's go smaller. Let's start small. I know I want to get through all this stock because it's still going to take us to the end of the year to get through this stock that we purchased, let alone we still go to swap meets and flea markets. We still go to op shops. We still garage sale. We still do all that every week, but we've still got all this stock. So goals wise, I just wanted to get up as much of that stock as possible. So yeah, we kind of average between 80 to 100 listings a day. Money wise, we're not, because we've always seen this as a hobby and something casual. We've never been ones that are like, we've got to make X amount every single month, because we're not relying just on that to get us through, because this has always been that
Yeah,
secondary income. But now that
yeah,
it's kind of gone up a notch, we're just like, well, maybe we can start putting some figures out there and having a nice bank roll so that we can buy bigger hauls off that. And yeah, so financially, I don't have too many like actual goals, but listing wise, 3,000 a month is it's very achievable for us, and we're already doing that. So
that's
maybe
that's
next month.
it's a lot of
Or
work.
what?
But yeah, I'm with you. If you focus on things that you can control, like how many items you get listed every
Yeah,
day, sending offers out to watchers, there's things that you can control instead of being down in the dumps and saying, hey, sales are slow. I'm not making a lot of sales.
yeah,
Well, you can still get your listings up. There are still some things that you can do on
yeah.
your end to kind of help grow and scale your business. I wanted to
Oh yeah.
say, give a shout out real quick to Sam is here in the chat. And we
Hey
had a
Sam.
question in the chat from Guanjero Pug says, hey, JT, how much do you sell to customers in the US? So when you're posting stuff on eBay, is
Yeah.
most of your sales in Australia, or do you sell stuff a lot internationally as well?
We sell worldwide, so we sell across the world. We have no hesitation in sending it to anywhere. Where we see it as there's buyers everywhere, and if you open up the windows and the doors to as many more people as possible. So, we average to the states. I think for us to send a DVD, it's about 18, $19, and but here in Australia it's about 8 or 9. So for an extra $10 to $15 more, if the buyer is happy to, like, because we cover free postage around Australia, but if the buyer in the States is happy to pay that little bit extra to get to them, we're happy to do the one piece of document work to get it to them. So we just do
Yeah.
this little customs form, and that gets it over to them.
Yeah, here in the States, like shipping is like when you're saying how expensive, it's like here in the States, you can ship a media item for anything under a pound for $3.19 media mail. And
Okay.
so the shipping is way different here in the States than it is in Australia. But yeah, we have the GSP program, Global Shipping Program, where
Yeah,
you
I've
can
heard of
send
that.
stuff, yeah, send stuff to Kentucky and send it out. So hey,
Yep.
what are some of the things that you have as far as like your resale business? What are like maybe three things that you have, or three pieces of advice that you can give to other resellers if they want to start to grow and scale their resale business? If they're like, hey, I would like to go from zero to $100,000 a year resale business in 7 months, like give them some tips or tricks or advice. What do they need to be doing to grow and scale their eBay business?
I think it's definitely hard work. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I have put a lot of hours into it, but I don't. I, some people, I think, I don't want to sound too rude, but some people make too many excuses. I feel, because I guess I've always come from that model of, you put the work in, you'll get the results. So, if you say you've got no time in the day, then, look at, I've just got up at 4:30 a.m. over here, to jump on a live stream where I could go make, you know, 10, 10 listings. So I always say to people, get up that extra hour early, get up that extra half an hour early. You could just bump another few listings up, and then you're good for the day. But I just see this, I just do believe people make too many excuses in this world. That, if they want to lose weight, go for a half an hour walk. But that's the same thing. If you want to make an extra 5 or 10 sales a day, get up that extra half an hour to an hour early. And so, yeah, it's a hard one. I think everyone's each to their own. Like, I've got a partner who's a shift worker, so our hours are never 9 to 5. It's, my partner will work night shift, and that could be 3 p.m. till 2 a.m. So
Right.
I don't, then my weekends become like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because then, my partner's home, on those days. So
Mhm.
just make sure you can fit it in, and just, yeah, just stop making excuses. Would probably be my one. Um, I just thought, yeah, Urban Foscate's always, isn't it always octopus?
Yeah.
Domination, but
Yeah,
goals.
I'm with you. I messaged you the other day on Instagram, and you're like, "What in the world are you doing awake at 3 o'clock in the morning?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Working, baby, I'm working." So I'm with you. You're just gonna have to get motivated to kind of do it. So you have, how do you kind of structure your day as far as getting your listings up, getting all your shipping done, and then I want to talk a little bit about your warehouse, how you keep everything organized, because if you don't have things organized and item sales, that's like the worst thing is looking for this $20 item, and it takes you an hour to do it, and you're looking everywhere for this item, and you have it, you just can't find it. So having everything organized is important, and I know you have things kind of like in shelving units in your warehouse. So can you
yeah,
talk a little bit about that as well?
yes. So what was the first one?
I wanted to talk a little bit about how you structure your day as far as
Oh, structure.
pulling
Yeah.
orders, doing the shipping, listing items. I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and then I wanted to talk about how you go about kind of organizing your store.
So organization, what I try and do because it got to a point where it was a little bit like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like, there's just so much stuff that it can get a bit overwhelming. So what I try to do is plan that week out. So Sunday, I'd write up a list of, right, I know Monday I can go into the warehouse between these hours. Tuesday I can go these hours. Wednesday I can't go in at all. So I would kind of spread out my week in terms of, all right, I know Monday I'm going to go in today. I've already got all my hours all timed out. So it was 4:30 a.m. wake up and join you on the live stream. Then from pretty much 5 to 5:30 it was going to, well, I mean 5 to 5:30, yeah, being here. And then, if we go over till 6 o'clock, we go over till 6 o'clock. I'll kind of put that in. And then from, 6 to 6:30, it's get my little one up and get her ready for daycare. And then when I get to the office, it's going to be, I've actually just checked this morning, and I've got 69 orders to get out from the weekend. So I'm going to be picking and packing from, by the time I get into the warehouse at 7:30 this morning, I'm probably going to be doing that to about 9:30. So there's 2 hours there that I've given myself to just pick 69 items, pack them, and post them out, all in that 2 hour time slot. If they
What
don't get out in that time, then I'll move on to the next thing, or I'll push the next thing back a little bit. But 2 hours will be good to
what
go.
what
So
what would you say? You said you had 69 sales of stuff that sold over the weekend. What would you say is your average sell price per item? What would you say? Because I know it's different here in the United States, and Australia is a little bit different. But on your eBay app, if you look, and it'll tell you how many sales you had in the past 90 days. So you can take
yep,
your gross sales number, divide it by the number of sales that you had, and then that way
yep,
you can be able to figure out what your average sell price was. I was just curious because I know
let's
it
have a look.
varies. It varies from depending on what items that you're selling. It all varies. I was just curious.
Let's have a look for you.
Yeah.
Do some quick maths. So we're at about $34 an average sale price.
Right, that's awesome. And the cool
Yeah,
thing is, guys, you guys probably won't find if you have a small store and you only have a couple hundred items listed, you don't really realize this. But when you have 7, 8, 10,000 items and you start having a big store, or a JT has 20,000 items, you'll get customers that'll come in and they'll buy multiple items from your
yeah,
store. So even though you may be selling an item for $10, $15, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but that customer may come in and buy 2, 3, 4, 5 items at
yeah.
10, 15, $20 a piece, and then it adds up, and now you got a customer that bought 5 items for $20 a piece, and you made
And that,
$100 on that one sale.
and that's why we've kind of started bringing a bit more of a structure into place, because we've got a lot of collectors that buy from our store. So Monday and Tuesday, so between my like 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. today, I'm going to list up 12 die-cast model cars. So
Yeah,
I'm only going to do that on Monday and Tuesday. So then when those auctions close next to, like, by the time those auctions close next Tuesday, if there's buyers that have bought multiple of them, I'll wait till the Tuesday auctions have closed and then
yeah,
post them out together. Or like the VHS tapes that we sell, we'll auction them off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So then whoever's bought them and the auctions close on the Friday, then the Friday afternoon we'll bundle up all the multiple buyers, so that because we're paying free postage, then we're going to save some money because we can bundle it all up together.
yeah. We had a question in the chat. Says, sorry I missed it, but what is your daily goal for listing items? You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so I pretty much go about 80 to 100 items a day. So that's kind of our goal every day, and that's a mix of either DVDs, VHSs, and like like if you haven't seen the videos, you'll see I've got a lot of other stock. So die-cast model cars, I've got books, I've got CDs, action figures. So we try and mix it up throughout the day, but yeah, anywhere between 80 to 100.
Yeah, guys. So you can do the math. Let's say if there's 30 days in a month and you average 100 listings a day times 30 days, that's
Yeah,
3,000 items that you listed. And let's just say hypothetically, if each one of them were $10 items, so let's just say hypothetically that's it. So those $10 items times, let's say 3,000. That's what, $30,000 worth of merchandise that you listed
yep,
at the end of the month. So
yep.
so I got a question. What are you going to do when you reach, let's say you get 20,000 items listed in your eBay store? Are you limited on space? Are you guys going to keep going to try to grow and scale your business? Like, what's your end goal with your reselling business?
I guess the beauty is our potential is endless, because the warehouse is quite large that we can, like, we've kind of confined the space that we're just going to have for eBay. So we've built an office in there that you would have
Yeah,
seen in the video. So we've built it in office for me. Then we've just kind of condensed the space into everything that's eBay is just there. So that's just eBay stuff. But the warehouse is so big that if it just does grow out itself and we buy another massive haul, or once we get through all this and we keep buying, because that's what we're doing, we're using the
yeah,
money that we're making, the profit, just to keep buying and building it. Then we've got all this extra space that we can just fit it out even more, and build onto it.
Well,
But yeah,
I'm glad I get to talk to you today
pretty
because,
lucky.
like, I'm at 7,000 items, and my goal this summer is to hit 10,000. And
Yep,
eventually, I would like to grow and get, 30, 40, 50,000 items in the store and
yep,
grow it and scale it. But when I tell normal people, their eyes are like, "You're crazy." But when I
yeah.
talk to you, you're just like, "Oh yeah, of course that's normal. Everybody has 20,000 items listed in their eBay store. It's no big
But
deal."
it
So,
it can
well, the
differ for
cool,
some people, like, some people, their jobs can be all over the place and it is harder, so they can
yeah,
only do that 10 a day, but I guess
yeah,
because I don't have to go sourcing, I've got all the stuff already in my warehouse, I'm already
yeah.
taking keeping that time to myself, which is pretty
Right. Well,
good,
the
so I
great
don't have to
the great thing
stress.
about eBay is you can kind of make your own schedule. So you can get up
Yep,
early in the morning, crank out some listings, pull your orders, and then in the
yep,
afternoon, let's say when your kid gets off from daycare and your partner gets home from work, you can just
yep,
turn eBay off for the day and be like,
mhm,
"Hey, we're just going to hang out and have family time and have dinner
yep.
together and all of that." So that's great. So
That's what I love about, eBay, because I always knew I had to have a very flexible schedule, and I guess I've never worked for somebody since I was, I don't know, 20. So we're talking, 14 years ago. So I've
right,
always been my own boss ever since I was, very young 20s. So
right.
I've always had that, you can make as much money as you really want.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that when kids grow older and they have a baseball game or basketball
Then
game or
you can go to
whatever,
it.
you can
Yep.
you can go. You don't have to get permission from a supervisor to get
No,
to get a week off for vacation or whatever, or to call in sick. Like if you want to go, you can go. And in the meanwhile,
exactly.
your eBay business is still running in the background. You're still making sales, and you can do things with your family and go on trips or vacations or go to your
Go to
kid's basketball
Fairplay, to
game
the next
and be able to,
resale.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And to be able to do that and still be making sales while you're out there, hanging out with your family. So,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
I wanted,
It's awesome.
okay, I wanted to say hello real quick to Mike is in the chat, and I
Hey,
wanted to
Mike.
say hello to Harry Humstone is in the chat,
Hey,
and
Harry.
Jeff says I don't know you only like dealing with media items that are new in the shrink wrap. JT, what is yours? So JT sells a lot of the same items that I sell, media items. So tell them a little bit about what are some of the items that you sell in your store.
So everything, well, nearly 90% of it is all used. So it's all secondhand. I've got a very, very good buffing machine. So I buff every single DVD before it walks out the door. I make sure it's at its best quality ever. So yeah, a lot of our stock is all used. I think I actually looked yesterday or the day before, and we're ranked in the top four for used DVDs in
Let's
Australia.
go
So
in the
that's
top four
pretty
in
cool.
Australia or in the world.
In Australia, I don't know if I can. I don't know how to work out the whole in the world
Oh,
on eBay, but
yeah. Okay.
Australia
So
counts.
so
But
you're saying 90% of your merchandise is used inventory, but
yeah,
you sell a lot of stuff. I see a lot of VHS tapes, a lot of DVDs, CDs, cassettes, audiobooks, all the media items that you guys have. What
yeah.
are some of your most hot selling items that you that are selling for you right now?
It's always going to be those like money wise and turnover. It's always going to be the horror VHSs. They're just a collector dream, and that's what we have a lot of.
Yeah,
And yeah, so they're very quick and very good money makers for us. But we sell that many DVDs, and we find anything that's very unique and different. So one that really stood out to me, I don't know if you guys probably got a very, let's just say your Dollar Tree store, right? If they sell a DVD, it's not a DVD that would have made it to, a Walmart, for example. So you're not gonna. I personally don't know, but I feel like you're not gonna see like a 50 Shades of Grey in a dollar store. It would be a movie that was just randomly put together, and then like an old school western or something like that. Those are
yeah,
selling really well for us, which is weird. I would never expect that, because the only
yeah.
way you could get that movie was, you can't get it live streamed, you can't get it on VHS, you can only get it on DVD, and you could have only got it from like a, what we call a red dot, or like a reject shop, or one of those. So
All
those
right.
type of movies, um, documentary shows, so like anything that was on like National Geographic or Discovery Channel, or ABC or SBS, what we've got over here, the TV channels that just are not common on streaming platforms. So anything you would never see on a streaming platform or YouTube, that's where I find the money is worth it.
All right, cool. We got a question in the chat from Mike. He wants to know, where does JT see herself a year from now with your reselling business?
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know where I see myself tomorrow. um, I think I do think because this has always been a casual hobby / part time for me. I
Uh-huh.
do think I'll be more full time. I think this will be where I will be spending all my time, and the business that I do have, that will be over the back. That will be the extra pocket money in the back pocket. Whereas it's always been for me is business that I've had for 7 years has been the main money earner, and then eBay's been my little casual hobby. So I do think this will become my full time, everyday gig because it's
Yeah.
just gone. It's gone quick, like it's gone up very quick. So
Right.
I can see the potential. So now that I'm
Yeah.
like, right, okay, 7 months later, I can see how much this is doing. Let's just go all in. So now that
Yeah.
I'm kind of going towards that now. By the end of this year, I would say
Yeah.
I'll definitely be full time in the game.
So if you guys hear some of the stuff that JT is telling you guys, talking about how she schedules her day, she's cranking out 100 listings a day, taking capital from money that you're making in sales and reinvesting it back in your business to buy more inventory, stuff like the same type of stuff that I tell you guys is what's helping to grow and scale your business. So we had a couple questions here in the chat. Urban Froster says, "Hey, what disc machine do you use?" So you mentioned that earlier. Do you have a certain type of machine that you use to get out scratches on the disc?
Yeah, it's like a high profile. It's like an ex video store buffing machine. I think it's called a VMI, but I don't know like the the brand itself. I think that's the model. It's like a VMI
Yeah,
heavy duty, and then they're not worth as in they're worth a little bit. So we we um we were lucky to get a good deal on it. So I know they're worth a couple of grand. And that if you bought one brand new, and we're kind of looking at investing in buying another one so that we have two on the go because the amount that we're starting to pump through and we're talking about whether we get somebody in and that's all they do is they just sit there and they just go through every DVD and buff them so that by the time
yeah,
that we're to posting them out, they're already all done because we at this stage we actually don't we wait till it's sold and then we buff it before we which I don't like. I don't mind that because to me it's like right cool I've picked it, I know I've buffed it and it's
yeah.
all up to scratch, as in at the scratches are out. But I know that
All
it's
right,
going out in the best quality straight away from the moment I've, put it in the envelope to post out.
I'm with you. I sell a lot of stuff that's already new in the shrink wrap, so I don't have to worry about buffing it out. I just put it in a 6x9 envelope and ship it out. We had a question
Yep.
here from the chat that said, "Hey, how and where do you go sourcing to get inventory?"
Okay, so well, at this stage we've got a whole warehouse that we've got enough stock to get me through the whole year. So I don't need to go sourcing, and that's why I like to buy big hauls, and I don't kind of nitpick. I just go in, buy a massive haul, bring it
Yeah,
back, and then deal with it. And I think we've bought 3 collections since we bought that massive media haul. So we've bought like a massive Star Wars collection. We've bought a Warhammer collection. So we've just bought out collections off people, made them a
yeah,
deal, walked away with it, and then we deal with it no matter what's in it.
yeah.
So that's how I like to buy stock. I like to buy it in whole. But
Right.
just we go like yesterday. We went out at 5 a.m. to the swap meets, and we just bought a whole lot of stock just to have there, so that when we get to it, it's there already in the
Yeah.
warehouse. We don't have to
Right.
go.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
guys buy inventory the same way I do. I try to get big wholesale lots and big
yep,
boxes of merchandise because if you can buy 100 or 200 or 500 items at one time, you're going to get a
yep,
much better deal. Like JT,
yep,
when you bought 20,000 items, you were able to buy 20,000 items for $1,000, which essentially you got them for 5 cents a piece. Whereas if you were to show up and say, hey, I just want to be able to get, buy one item here at a time and picking it up at a flea
yeah.
market or a thrift
It adds up.
store, you'd be paying a higher price. But if you show up and say, hey, I'm buying, 1,000, 10,000 items at one time, you get a much better deal. So, hey, I wanted to talk real quick about your YouTube channel. If people haven't checked you out yet or they haven't subscribed to your YouTube channel, tell them a little bit about what kind of content you make on your channel and then go by and check you out.
Yeah, so I pretty much started off my channel with Funko Pop collecting, and then I could tell that that was just more for a collector's market. I want to share the journey of the reselling and how others can be doing it as well. We started off with pretty much nothing, and we've been able to build this business up from a lot of hard work and a lot of sales. But I'm just getting a little. All right, Dan. Yep, good comment. Like your work there, mate. Good on you. Yeah, so I've got a lost track.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So
Uh,
we're talking about your YouTube channel. Don't worry about the
yeah,
chat.
yeah,
So you're
sorry.
talking about your YouTube channel. So you kind of document your journey, your reselling journey, and your business.
Yeah, yeah.
And right. And so
So
I've seen
yeah,
you guys
so
go. Go ahead.
I kind of made a goal at the end of the year to kind of not do as much videos because I was doing 3 a week, and I found I was spending a lot of time just editing videos and putting videos together because I wanted to share the beginning of this journey. And then I thought, all right, with the journey, I need to build the journey up to make it, something really, really cool. And that's why I put YouTube just to the back burner a little bit to the start of this year. And yeah, that's why I thought, you know what, I could put a video together the other day, and let's get that up for YouTube this week, and show you everybody how the first 3 months have gone, what's been happening in the
Right.
me on the news and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so now I'm starting to get back into some videos again. So that
All
was
right. Cool.
that was pretty cool. So
Well, tell
I'll be
everybody
doing
where
some
they
more
can
videos of the journey.
go by and check you out on YouTube and Instagram. So they go by and check out your channel. Tell them where they can find you at.
Yeah, so just here, like the name there, JT's Funky Finds. It's nothing different because I used to be called JT's Funko Finds, so I just took out the O and put the Y and made it a little bit more like open to Funko and thrifting. So I did that, and then so you can find me here on YouTube, and the same thing. I think it's just JT_Funky Finds on Instagram, where I
Yeah.
tend to post more regularly. I'm on there every day, and that's just so much quicker for me to get out. So
Yeah, I've been following you on Instagram for a while, and I subscribe to
yeah,
your YouTube channel. So hopefully you'll come back on again soon and come hang out with us and tell me about how your reselling journey is going. What would be like your
yeah, for
top?
sure. No, it's good
What would
fun.
be like your top 2 or 3 things that you would say if someone came to you and said, "Hey, I saw you on the YouTube." What would be your top 2 or 3 things you would tell somebody if they're a beginner or they're someone that's growing to scale their resale business? What would you tell them as far as they came to you and said, "Hey, I heard that you're making $100,000 a year in 7 months as a reseller on eBay." Like, what would you tell them to do?
Firstly, hard work doesn't go astray. If you put in the hours, you'll get the results. And I'm still wanting to put in more hours so I can get higher results. That's just me, but um, that's definitely the first one. And then also, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Go out and enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you won't do the work. So definitely go out there, look for items that you would want to probably find yourself, and then don't keep it. Make sure you resell it. And yeah, you got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, it will become work, and it won't become, it will become a job. It won't become work. So, uh, you know, if you enjoy whatever you do, you're going to do it more of. So that's why you can build that business up, I feel, and
Yeah.
just put some goals into place. It doesn't hurt to have a couple of goals, and structure your day or your week or your month around that, and see how you go. People start off at 5 a day. Start there and then build up from that.
Right, for sure, guys. And even if you don't hit your goals in the time that you thought you were going to, you can just still
Yeah.
keep working at it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not over until you kind of quit and give up. So I want to give a quick shout out to a few people here in the chat. I wanted to say hello to the Disgruntled Octopus. Guan Pug is here in the chat. I want to give a shout out to Lewis Moore III. He's here hanging out with us from Germany. Hey, man, Lewis, I've been trying to catch up with you, bro. Send me a message on Instagram when you get a minute. And I wanted to say hello to Urban Foster, who is here with us from Australia. So, hey, JT, we appreciate you jumping on and hanging out with us. You have any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you can leave our audience with?
Ooh, I wouldn't say I'm the most, wisdom type of person. um, but yeah, no, just have fun. You know, keep finding those awesome items. You know, media is definitely not dead. You can make a lot of money out of it, and I think I've been able to prove that. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So if you want to go follow our guests, all the links are going to be down below in the description. You can follow JT's channel on YouTube and Instagram. And hopefully we'll check back in with you maybe 6 months or a year from now. We'll check in with you and see how your resale business is going. And you can go ahead and follow her on YouTube and Instagram. And I will catch you
Definitely.
guys next week. I will have some new guests. I'm not telling you who yet, but I got 2 or 3 guests lined up next week for you guys. Till then, you guys have a great weekend and have a great day. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.